That was awful.
My mom doesn't like green tea very much either.
Well, when your green tea makes noises like that, I can't say I blame her. Uh,
Ah. Okay. So,
so after that nice
pirouette.
swinging adventure and spinning around, where are we? What are we looking at now?
Well, we have just made a way back. But since we don't want to go back, let's go forward instead.
The, yeah, seems kind of like the better idea at the moment. Where are we actually
Idana.
headed?
Well, remember how we heard the bird get in a lot of trouble last time?
Oh yeah, that big bird that was carrying stuff around. Yep.
Yeah. Well, we found it.
We did. Oh yeah. Right, because it got sucked up by one of those disgusting plants. Aww.
So, we'll have to get it back out of the plant somehow.
Preferably before it starts getting digested and dies, right?
Yeah, well, it took me literally hours to do this the first time, so I think I got plenty of time.
It's not a timed event. It's probably for the best.
Which, it is for the best, because Adana is by far the hardest age to navigate.
Because everything looks like this.
It's very difficult to tell where is goable and what is not goable.
This is where the full 3D movement from the Myst remake would come in handy.
Yeah. But I don't think they're ever going to make a real Myst remake of Myst 3.
Because it looks good enough already.
Yeah.
What was the reason they decided to remake the first game anyway?
Classic update. Alright, here's another painting. Savidra's on the right with Tamra. Aegis and Akinar. No, there's Savidra. Aegis and Akinar are lying to the Narayans.
They're lying liars.
Well, to be fair, we did establish that in Myst 1. Huh?
Did they really straight up lie to us though, or were they just like kind of
Well,
bonkers?
they lied about why they got trapped, and then they lied about how we would be able to free them. Well, I guess that wasn't a lie. But then they lied by saying the Green Book would trap us.
Yeah,
So they lied.
true.
They were lying liars.
They're false.
Okay, so
Why are we looking through the Volvo plant?
well, I just focused on that leaf because I know that these plants like focus light, and if we focus light on the leaf bridges, they like, you know, unroll.
the, the imagery they decided to use for actually looking through it is just very disturbing, though.
Unfortunate. Oh well. It's Ubisoft. They have to push the ratings somehow.
Is this rated M though?
No, it's rated E.
Yeah, exactly.
I got the case right here.
Obviously,
E for everyone, with descriptors violence.
Obviously, they got away with it because it's technically a plant. So,
Yeah.
you know, doesn't count, right? That's how it works.
There's our piranha plant thing, with its roots all the way down to this water. Now, do you remember what makes the piranha plant open?
Light?
No, electricity. We found that out in
Go.
Savidra's lab.
Geez, that was a while back.
20 years.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
20 long years alone.
That's how long it's been since we started recording these, right?
Yes.
They burned their Myst linking books in front of me. They took everything I had. My wife. My 2 baby girls. And then, when I finally got to it would have been better if I had died.
Well, I mean,
So
not to
now we
advocate for
what?
not to advocate for self-harm, but you could kind of take care of that yourself.
Well, instead, he decided to. Remember how I said it passed it and it turned off the subtitles? Sorry.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Instead of that, he decided to instead take revenge on Atris, which you might notice what didn't work out the way we wanted.
Well, we're still not Atris, and no matter how angry he gets, that's not going to change.
And he will get really, really angry about it.
Is he ever going to realize that we're not Atris?
Yeah. You see, up to this point, he just hasn't gotten a really good look at us.
Well, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm getting the impression that a lot of these are pre-recorded things in the first place.
Who was focusing on one of those water plants, water holders. You're getting the impression that what? Sorry?
That the TV screens that we're seeing of him are just pre-recorded messages.
Yeah. The only time that we, the player, have interacted with him was at the very beginning.
Yeah.
When he could only see us through a tiny window.
So naturally, he assumed that we were his arch nemesis.
Yeah. Which is slightly awkward because his arch nemesis would have come. But he kind of set everything on fire first.
He ruined it all. So, what are we looking for at the moment?
At this moment, we're trying to free the bird out of the plant. We saw the fire flower was pointed at one of the bulbous water plants, like that one.
Uh-huh.
So all we have to do is redirect light into that fire flower and then fill up that water holder, and then it'll burst and bird will free. But I've gone and forgotten a rather important step at this point.
I have absolutely no idea what sequence of events we're actually setting in motion right here.
Yeah, you'll see it.
I'm pretty darn well lost, I'll say.
Okay, so what I've realized the last second is that back at the fire flower,
Uh-huh.
I was supposed to actually move one of the other plants to point the right way, but I forgot to do it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to, with great futility, open up, pump the electric fish to this area, and then have to fix it again.
Oh, joy. Where? Oh, okay. So I think what was confusing me was that I missed when we moved the electric fish in here in the first place.
That was back at the painting.
Okay. That makes it make a little more sense to me now, then.
And whoop-de-whoop, I pointed it the wrong place, so now I can't. I gotta move it back so I can make the leaf bridge go. This is where I try zip mode.
and it doesn't work for you.
It does not work for me.
I assume it was supposed it's supposed to show up in the lower right corner there.
Well, no, that's how it works in Myst 4. And I thought that's how it worked in Myst 3, but it does not.
Where is it supposed to show up?
When you try to move somewhere, if you like aim to a node that's further away, a little lightning bolt might show up.
Oh. That
But not enough to make zip mode even worth it.
That sounds incredibly inconvenient.
The zip mode is not very good in this one.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like it would be overwhelmingly useful. Shall we say.
Yeah. So yeah, I might be using zip mode more in Myst 4 because it actually works there.
Yay! And then we don't have to meow through all of these transitions.
Exactly. Okay.
So
we only have to switch it one more time.
Oh, we're still moving plants around?
Yeah, we're almost done the plant moving.
Oh boy. So, you really like the Myst franchise.
I adore the Myst franchise.
Can you explain why?
Really? Okay, the conceit is fantastic. You admit it. The conceit is fantastic. The idea of, like, link literally anywhere in the universe type thing.
Okay. Let me rephrase the question. Can you explain why, in the context of today, you don't get tired of this style of gameplay? Is it just because you grew up with it, or what?
I did grow up with it. Also, I do enjoy slower moving stuff over fast moving stuff.
Okay.
Like, I really do. Like, Batman Arkham City is pretty much the fastest I go before I start getting overwhelmed.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. Some of the challenge maps in that are absolutely ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, Joker's Carnival, why? But, yeah. See, zip mode, boom! We moved 3 screens instead of 1. Which confused me, so I gained no time.
You got lost because it actually worked.
Yeah. So, I do really actually quite enjoy slower moving stuff that's more cerebral rather than skill-based. I'm conveniently leaving Mirror's Edge out of this. And even Mirror's Edge, I don't like the violent aspect. I like the thinking on your feet and like solving
right
movement puzzles type thing rather than the actual, punch everyone out type of thing.
On the subject of Mirror's Edge, since we're considering covering that as well, I've never understood why people seem to have such difficulty with the platforming in that game, actually.
I don't either. Yahtzee was like, I can't see my feet, therefore I can't see, like, anything. And it's like, do you just fall over in real life?
Well, I wonder if it's maybe a difference between playing the game on PC versus playing it on console. Because you have it on PC as well, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever play it on PS3 or Xbox 360?
I did play it like a demo in a store once, but I didn't have any trouble there.
So
either.
No. Well, I have it on PC.
I played it for like 10
well.
minutes on PS4, and I had no trouble then either. So
yeah,
I'm thinking that Yahtzee just won't admit that he trips over his own feet all the time.
Well, he's not the only, like, there are a bunch of people online who always insist that they have problems with first-person platforming, and I have never really had an issue with it in that game or in many other like first-person shooters that utilize platforming elements either.
Well, I had a bit of trouble with it in Lemma, which is like a Mirror's Edge clone and expansion type of thing. But that one just wasn't very good.
Yeah, it wasn't
And it had
implemented
this
quite as well.
It had this innovative but horrible mechanic where if you ran into the air off a wall, like if you ran out of wall to run on, you would make more.
Huh.
And that sounds really cool, but when you actually try to use it, it just makes massive walls in the middle of the air that you have trouble getting through.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you can see a problem.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've never had trouble with the whole first-person platforming thing except Lemma.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a problem in some older first-person shooters because they don't have the traction to go with the small platforms that they require the player to jump on. But that's something that Mirror's Edge in particular does really well, I think, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, well, I'm pretty sure we're going to cover it because I'm working on it pretty hard already. The original topic of why do I still like Myst?
Yeah.
Like, as I said, Mirror's Edge aside, I really do prefer slower stuff. I've grown up with this type of thing. I really like the idea. I think Myst does its puzzles way better than, say, Darkfall.
Oh dear.
And yeah, it is a pretty darn high quality, and it's maintained high quality all the way through its existence.
Yeah.
Maybe Myst 5 is a bit subpar, but oh well.
I guess that's kind of the point of contention for why a lot of people say that things like Telltale's Walking Dead series aren't quote unquote real games and whatnot as well. It's because it's a totally different style of gameplay that a lot of people aren't used to.
Well, to quote Icona Pop, I don't care. I love it.
I mean, I've said it before. I definitely vastly prefer the Telltale style of adventure game to classic point-and-click adventure games.
I do prefer the classic, just because it makes me, like, there's more satisfaction in solving.
I don't know. I everything I come back to is that I get lost on the moon logic. I guess I did really enjoy Technobabylon.
Yeah.
Because it had the proper level of direction for the player to understand what they were doing and why they were doing it.
It was a good example, especially for you. I thought it was a bit simple, but of course, I grew up with Myst, so what do I know?
Yeah. Well, exactly. Like, I don't know why we just hit that bubble plant, you know?
That was just to show you it sprays spores. It didn't actually do anything in that context.
But I assume... Yeah, I assume that means that it's going to be used for something. And I don't know what it could possibly be used for, because all we're doing in this game is wandering around, interacting with everything.
This is a bad age to, like, talk about this in, because Adana is full of moon logic. And by moon logic, I mean Adana logic, because everything that happens in Adana is based on things that only exist in Adana.
Well, that's the whole point, though, right? Because they're, like, as good as this game has been, or as this franchise has been, about not being completely off the rails and absurd, it still has its own numerous examples of weird, nonsensical logic as well to kind of back it all up.
I do blame Cyan giving this to Ubisoft for why Adana specifically is kind of terrible at this. Now, they make up for it in the next stage. Amateria is fantastic, but
let's be fair. Back in 2001, 2002, whenever this came out, Ubisoft wasn't actively terrible yet, because that was back around when they released Beyond Good and Evil and everything as well.
Yeah. And, like, Myst 3 is not a bad game. It just has this specific open the plant puzzle that, to this day, I still don't properly understand. I just do it because it works.
Because it's something you have to do.
Yeah. See, You use the light to raise these antennae so that when you try to scare the flies away from the other one, the flies will go over to this one and open it. Because you don't have any way of knowing this. You just play with it until it works.
Right.
And, the whole concept is that this age teaches you that things work together in nature. Like, nature encourages mutual dependence, is the exact wording. And it shows that, I guess. But
because you wouldn't be able to figure that from... You wouldn't be able to figure that from the fact that the entire area is a giant tree.
And literally everything interacts with something else within the tree.
Yeah.
So I admit, I'll be the first to admit, this is not a good puzzle. But
still, it's a very nice landscape, so it's got that going for it.
The world design is lovely. So here's where we block the light to the other plant that the flies are at, so that it closes, so the flies don't really want to stay. So you're just kind of there.
So we have to draw them over to the other one.
More specifically, you have to scare them away from this one. Then they'll see the other one that's got light on it and the antenna are up, and they'll go there. And that's where the plants I poked that sprayed spores comes back into play.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It's like when I tried to play The Longest Journey. I don't know if I talked about this in a recording or not, but I got a couple hours into The Longest Journey, and then I got to a point where I had to grab an NPC's fake eye while he's like stuck in a bathroom, and in order to grab said eye, you have to have an item from one of the earliest rooms in the game that I didn't even see. I didn't know where it was. And so I got to this point in the game where I had to grab this eye, and I didn't have the item that I needed. And you can go back to the room where the thing is, but it's a pretty long way away. And then you have to go all the way back to the bathroom so you can grab the eye. And
that's bad design.
And I had looked it up in a walkthrough, and I was like, no, I can't be bothered with this. I was literally interacting with every item that I saw that I like could mouse over and actually interact with, and I still somehow missed this. And and it was just like, oh, if the game is going to be doing this, then...
Yeah, The Longest Journey just head crushed me. We got the plant open, so now when we spray these spores, they'll spray into the air. Why do you want to do this? I don't know, it just seems like a good idea.
Just because.
Now, here's what you don't realize. They attract birds.
Okay.
This makes no sense to me even now. Like what happens right now.
Oh, it just grabbed the entire plant?
Well, the core of it. Because it's got the purple fruit. That's your key. It's got the purple fruit, which it wants to give to its babies.
Sure. And we were hiding in there.
Yeah. It's not going to be too pleased when it notices either. As I mentioned,
saved it.
The concept of this age is kind of brilliant. Not great execution. Like the great big tree in the middle of the ocean with no land in sight with all this life in it is a great idea.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, it's just annoyed that we're here.
Oh. So it's not
It
going
will not try
to
to eat us.
Oh.
No. We're just gonna hop out of the plant and just slide down a really scary slide.
Might have wanted one of those pillars we had earlier when we were scaling the fin stairs.
Oh well.
But we got our next symbol.
We got our next symbol.
Yeah.
And that Janani book that we saw at the very beginning.
It's right there.
It's right here. Yeah.
How convenient.
I think this remains canonical in Myst 4 too.
Well, even if it doesn't, we made it canon last game, so...
There you go. Lazy Cyan employees.
So now we have to find our way to the next door?
Yeah, there's one more age in Jinanin before we can access Narayan.
Yay. So can you keep the symbols in your inventory until you have all three of them?
Yes. You'll need them in Narayan.
Oh, you have them in your inventory anyway. I didn't notice that.
This what you expected, Atris?
Yeah.
When you followed me here, hoping to reclaim relation, this classroom what you expected to find.
Well, no, because I'm not Atris.
I read your journal, in Tamana. After I found your linking book abandoned outside this observatory, I read all about the Dunning. How you started their world again. Can you really do that, Atris?
Uh-oh. Atris works for DC, doesn't he?
Everything that's happened to Ryan, could you start their world over again?
Yep.
I don't think so. I think there's too much blood on our hands, too many ghosts. Surely you can't change that. Stroke.
Stop thinking comics, dude.
One more symbol,
Nope,
Atris.
nope. Too late. Atris, confirmed comic book writer.
Well, instead of rewriting